designers, they are the best in the field. So if they will be having a problem. So let them come and go. Arrive in the office at 8 o'clock, leave the office at 5 o'clock. They don't have the motivation, the enthusiasm, the commitment, but the company needs them because they're expert. They're already old, 20 years in the company. Okay, so these are the type of people. I believe you have colleagues like this. They know everything, but they don't mind at all what is happening. And there are employees that are the competitive one, the class A type of employee, where there's enthusiasm, commitment, motivation. At the same time, they are having the expertise. So now, understanding these employees as leader, we have the task as leader is okay. Now, the task of the leader, okay, is to convert this type to be like this, because these are the ideal employees, right? To make D4 type. So gradually, all this D1, if you can convert them into a D4, but it's possible. But because people have different mindset, different attitude, so you cannot do it. So what you have to do now as a leader is to apply a situational approach. So this is it now. Okay. You cannot convert them to be the best employee, but you can apply the strategy, the styles in different way. Right. For example, okay. What is it? Okay. 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 This one. So what we will do now, for D1 type of employee, they are new, right? They're new students, are new employees, fresh graduates. They don't know anything, but they are, what happened? What happened? But they are, this kind of employees are committed, right? Committed, okay. Committed. So what you will do, you will direct. Okay, we will conduct quality induction, safety induction. You will conduct training, you will train them about methodology, what is the standard operating procedures. You will provide them the tools, say the forms, the process, the step by step, for them to understand how to do it. Okay, so they have the commitment, so there is a chance because the commitment is high. Because the commitment here is high, and their what do you call this competence is low. By providing them this information, the tools, techniques, the materials, the resources, the procedures, they will gain the competence. And you don't have to worry anymore of their commitment because they are highly motivated, because they are new, they are eager to succeed, they are eager to display something, to contribute something. So they will be becoming green. Okay, they will be like highly competent and highly committed. Okay, so the direction is always here. Second, we have that medium, the D2 type. Who are the D2 type employees? So the D2 type employees are, okay, we have low competence, low commitment. So these are the employees that have been part owners of the company. What you will do? These are the employees that doesn't want to learn, or employees that have been transferred, that is not interested in the role, or temporarily assigned on the particular role because the person was absent or on leave. So just temporarily assigned there. Of course, there's no commitment, there's no knowledge. So what you will do? Coaching. Okay. So how to coach? Coaching is providing the step by step. At the same time, a personal touch, let's say, situation. If this person, employee, is the owner, the son or daughter of the owner of the company, your motivation will be like, this is the procedure, these are the forms to be used, this is the standard operating procedure, this is the method. You know why it is important for you to understand this? Because someday you will be the owner of the company that will be operating this. So at least you know from the bottom what is happening so that you can easily improve or cut something. So that's the motivation. So the commitment will increase because you already triggered, he will be one manager in the future. And the competence will be improved because you educated that person. You add information about the company to that person. So definitely it will be converted to D4. Third, employee. Less commitment, but they are experts. These are the 20-year-old company, the 50-year-old, 60-year-old man in the company that reports in the morning at 8 o'clock and leave at 5 o'clock. Or sometimes under time. But during Ramadan, report at 9, leave at 11. They are expert. The company will not terminate them. Because their loss is the company's loss. It happens in some organizations. So what you will do as a leader, supporting, you will not be talking to these people about the task, about the technicality. You will be talking with the people about career path. You know, Simon, you did 2 years in this company. Perhaps you have an opportunity to be one of the business development manager. Perhaps you have an opportunity to be a project manager. Perhaps you have to take first PhD, take the PhD, and then go on master's degree. It's not too late. It will take you 18 months or 12 months. After that, you are the most qualified person for this job. Let's say QC engineer, you know, quality. What I will do for that 10 years, 15 years in service QC engineer? He's already an expert. He can create ITP, he can execute inspections, he can create procedures. Expertise is there. He can develop audit plan, deliver audit program. So what I will do? You know, John, you're good at what you do. But as a manager, it's also a requirement of the authority. Some QCS, client, Qatar, it's always the requirement. To be a quality manager, minimum 5 years experience. You already have 5 years experience. But there's quality management knowledge. I think you have to take it. You don't need to pass. The training certificate alone, 40 hours is enough. It already complies to the requirement of the Qatar construction specification that says must have a quality management knowledge. See, ISO 9001. Okay, so it already fits to that minimum requirement. So what I try to do is people, okay, to have that enthusiasm, motivation. Yeah, my boss is right. I have to take these courses. I already have that experience. I already have the knowledge. But again, the motivation was not there. You triggered the motivation. So it's not about the work related, it's all about personal. You convert them to be A1, the best employees. Now for the best employees, what you will do? Nothing. They don't find you as manager. They don't care you as manager. They are expert, they are committed, they are motivated. So for you as manager, easy. Simon, I have a task for you. Can you do it in 2 weeks? Yes, boss. I'll do it in 1 week. Motivated, enthusiastic, committed. You see, what's the difference? If all of your employees will be converted to here, what you will do as manager? Sit down, watch Netflix. You see? Then what happened now? Sometimes it happens. because the people are highly committed, highly competent, and they say their managers are just relaxed. My manager is doing nothing. So the motivation uses again. You see, it happens, huh? It happens. So you have now to maintain it. So you delegate the task, you don't have to worry again about coaching, about supporting, about directing. So you focus now on the other things, how to maintain, how to maintain the team, focus on other tasks also that you have to delegate to improve. And then this you have no time to manage by walking around. Okay? So different styles to different employees. But the objective is to put your employee to be a highly competent and highly motivated to be good. So this is how you ask as leader. You understand? Can you do it? It's easy, right? Now you have a picture with you. Who are these employees that are? I know. You will now be thinking, who are these employees? This is what I will do with him. These employees. Who are these employees now? And who are these employees? So what I will do with these employees? Just talking personal, be friend with them, or they recognize them. Okay, employee of the year, or recognize them by just treating a biryani. Yes, every week I have QC with me or inspector with me in museum restaurant. Join me for lunch. For the last 15 years, I've been eating biryani every week. Yes, it's one of my favorite now, mutton biryani. I don't know how to cook mutton, but I eat mutton biryani every week. The most spicy one. See? Because of my colleagues, the people working with me. Come, come. There we go. Lunch. Yes. You want Filipino food? Sometimes I bring them to this restaurant here in Biring. Max. Yeah, there's Max Chicken, one of the best chicken in the world. Okay. So, wait. You need a break? Okay, take a break, 5 minutes before we proceed to the next. Okay. I'll pause for a while. Okay. So, well, we are still in the leadership challenges. There is topic number 2 about transformational leadership model. So we have these 5 models, 5 practices. The model the way, inspire a shared vision, challenge the process, enable others to act, and encourage the heart. So this is the theory of Costner's and Postner's, causes and Postner's. Right, so I will take my down. Oh, all right. There are also leaders that wants to motivate people, and motivating them is very important for them to work for you, not for you, to work on with the goals and objectives, even without managing them. Managing them is my directly involved. So there is one. Well, the first practice is to model the way, meaning set example. If you're a manager who is driven for result, you have to show it. Instead of telling the people that do this, show them that you are committed to delivering high quality by showing them this is what I do, and this is at least go with me. So these are the targets that I am more on particular, that at least 90% of our acceptance, 10% rejections, so that from your side, you are aware that our objective is this, at least you will do the same. And what else? Practice, very simple, this practice what you think. Whatever you say, do it. Okay? You're not just saying it for them to follow, at least from your side, you're also doing it your way. What particular example?
For example, if I ask my this thing to make a presentation, and I know he or she don't know to make it, I can show him how simple Excel sheet, how you can put this fancy graph
That's
and
another thing, yes.
this thing.
Correct.
That way.
Yeah. Encourage. That's encouraging them to do it. So this practice what you preach. It's like, yeah, pertaining to this presentation, creating and presenting. How can you say to your team that you have to prepare and present it if you did not start it? But probably at first you have to start. Okay. Every meeting you're creating, you're presenting. Then one day you want to somebody from your team to do it instead of you. Then probably you will announce next meeting, Mr. John, can you do it? Of course. He will say yes, I will do it. So he will start to create, probably come to you to seek advice how to do it, and then deliver. So that first delivery might not be perfect, but do not discourage them. So you have to make the comments, the feedback for them to improve. So that is part of the transformational leadership. You model them, setting the example, and then have something for improvement. Inspire a shared vision. When Steve Jobs started this Apple, nobody understands, nobody cares. But he's consistent with this Apple that it will come. That the telephone should be, it was not Apple before, it was just a Macintosh computer. That someday this technology will be handy. Everything will be in the phone. Everything will be easy. So this is why Apple came in from a computer and then from an Apple. The same with Microsoft, Bill Gates. When Bill Gates also started this Microsoft computers, the old one was the normal operating system. DOS, yeah, DOS. And then there are some software like I have used it sometime in 1999. WordStar was there. Lotus 123 for the Excel before the Microsoft. So see, the Bill Gates idea was to improve, to have every household, to ensure that every household have computers, personal computers. That was his vision. So people just joined him. Before it was very difficult. They say it's impossible. Computers are very expensive at that time. CPUs are like a house size, not like today. So the CPUs requires a room like this. So how can it be possible that every house will be having a computer? Does it mean I will have a room just for the processor? That was the mindset before. But later on, as they develop, as they evolve, they came to the mind, yes, it is possible. So they align, the people are now aligned with the vision of Bill Gates, and the people get aligned with the vision of Steve Jobs, and there will more inventors, newcomers join them. And in fact, some of them created their own company. Instead of benchmark, using their companies as benchmark. So these two are the drivers of the current technology, Bill Gates. So they inspire a shared vision. So this is where the Samsung creators came in, the Alcatel creators came in. What else? There are some the BlackBerry creators that failed. Motorola. because of that. For the computer, so many computers came after that. Okay, so challenge the process. So this is about benchmarking. Always seek for improvement, personal or even in the company. Enable others to act and be clear. Of course, encourage the sample that are taken. So this is transformational leadership. It's not about only focusing on the people, the company's goals, and the people to do it, but to, as per costers and or causes and posters, one way to lead is also to let them change, transform to better people. So if you transform them to better people, your influence will be greater, and of course they will work with you. It will build trust. So emotional intelligence. Okay. Actually, there are still there are four. What are the other four?
Leadership types,
Mhm.
transformal,
Transformational.
yeah, and then transactional leadership skills.
Okay, transactional or task related. So, okay, transformational leadership are you encourage, you motivate every individual to improve. That's the idea. To improve and work with you in your vision, in your objective, without managing them. Transactional leadership is more on the task, details of the task. It's like managing, but with a little of leadership influencing. So transform the difference between the two is transactional leadership is related to the task. Transformational leadership about development of the people, personal development, personal touch, empathy included there. Hold on. Let me search about this because now it is four. It was there are other four. Very good.
Self and
I did not include. Oh, okay, now I know. Okay. So let's discuss first the intelligence quotient and emotional quotient. Okay. So intelligence quotient is IQ. Yes, about knowledge, measurement of knowledge. Where we know about it. But emotional intelligence is different. It involves ability to monitor one's own feelings, uh, just not to understand the feelings of others. So emotional intelligence sample, the way you look at me now, you're curious. Does he know what he's talking about? So you are able to read the minds or you need the minds of the other people based on their hand gestures and facial expressions without saying anything. So I saw that you're tired, maybe your night shift. You feel tired, so something like that. So I saw that you seem interested with this topic because probably you're thinking I will apply it in my workplace. So you're able to read. It's very difficult. It requires practice. This one. In fact, I'm not even 100% on this. I'm still in the process of developing it. So I look at people. Sometimes I make a guess, but without saying anything, I just let them to know I was wrong. So I'm not really highly. I'm not really having high EQ yet, but it's in the process. But it's a sort of practice. So, so these are expressions. It's simple. What do you think this expression is?
annoyed.
Yeah, probably yes. This one.
Easy.
Yes. Okay.
Not
See?
interested.
Yes. You see? You can read through their facial expressions. And for those with high EQ, they can even notice a person, read a person by the way they walk and the way they move their hands, the facial expressions. CIA, FBI. Yeah, they're expert on this. Okay. That is emotional intelligence. So it is important to have this emotional intelligence for you to again adapt with the people, with the community, use a particular style, leadership style. We have four styles. So you can apply. Probably these people get annoyed if the boss is always by his side. So you can reveal to it. Instead of providing them side by side, you can just send an email. Here is the step by step for him not to get annoyed. So you can apply strategies if you have this emotional intelligence. And there are other two intelligence quotients. Not intelligence quotient. There are another types. Okay. There's another one, social quotient and adversity quotient. Social quotient and adversity quotient. That are also important to understand. So intelligence sense is about the knowledge, measurement. Emotional quotient is about reading people's gestures, understanding people. The social quotient is the ability to socialize, ability to mingle with others. So like me, I believe I am high with SQ because I can easily adapt with any nationality. Okay, I can communicate and adapt with any nationality. In fact, I've been used to biryani. It's one way of connecting through social quotient to understand uh, some language. See, so how to mingle? Because not all people are ready to mingle with other cultures. So the ability to mingle with them socially is also a great factor for leadership. Adversity quotient. This is the ability to withstand despite of difficulties, struggles, and adversity. In Japan, they have low adversity quotient because a simple setback and the simple failures, people just jump off the bridge, kill themselves, right? But I believe we Asians are high because we used to it. We came from drugs, from failures. We started from failures. We struggled to reach to where we are now. So, see, so we have high adversity quotient.
We can correlate with resilience.
Resilience, another
Resilience.
word, resilience. Correct. Okay. So we have to understand that so that we can also understand the people around us. Okay. The five dimensions of emotional intelligence is self-awareness, self-regulation, motivation, empathy, and relationship management. Self-awareness, of course, you have also to understand yourself if you are capable to read. Because if you will not read people's mind, people's expressions if you don't experience it yourself. Okay? Because sometimes if I do this in my body gestures like this, I feel like this. So probably these people is the same. So if my gesture is like 90 degrees away from him, I'm not interested. Probably people also do it to me. I can read that they are also not interested. Okay. So self-regulation. So it's about improvement, improving yourself, motivation, the empathy, putting yourself in others' situation, and relationship management. So relationship management is getting to know. It's all about getting to know the people. Okay. Emotional intelligence and transformational leadership. So, okay, correlation between the two. Right. If you are highly emotionally intelligent people, it's very easy for you to motivate others to improve. Okay, that's why they are correlated. Yeah, let's say I'm highly motivated that I can read the mind. So I can use some strategy for you to get motivated and improve yourself. Okay, like for example, one example that I have read one person's routine that he always arrive late but leave the office late. So I'm just wondering, the routine comes the same. So, despite others are ahead by 30 minutes, then I just read, probably this person is having some in the morning, some activities in the morning. Then I come to know that that person is yeah, putting his kids first in the morning to school and fixing them late at night, his wife late at night. So instead of leaving early, he doesn't want to travel, extend 1 hour, 2 hours because his wife will be leaving the workplace at 8. So it took him lot of hours compared to others. However, he arrives late, 8:30 or 9, which is it's okay for as long as you have 8 hours. Then I have read that already. Then I came up to for this transformational leadership style. Why not during your stay, your extended time here, read some online courses. Yeah, we have this. There is one Coursera that you can get free courses. This is People University of the People. The online courses free. Or some there are fees with $5, but it's legit, legit courses. University of the People and Coursera. You can get courses that you like. And even I shared them my Udemy. Open this Udemy. I shared the link. Read about these videos. It's hard for you to learn. So while waiting for your wife, at 8 o'clock, take this time. You finished how many courses during those terms? Yeah, and then he put it in his LinkedIn. So see the transformation. So he learned more knowledge during those times that supposedly just sitting down in the office, waiting for his wife timing. So it's kind of approach of transformational. So it is correlated. If you can read people's mind, what their needs, what are the situations, you can tailor something for him to improve. Okay. So I still have another one. Okay. It's a Filipino. He's always out of his mind. The blank, something like it's not focused on the job. Yeah. So arrive office early, the usual. But something is he's out of focus. Only to find out that I know something probably in the family. Only to find thing that back home he has a special child. But he cannot leave the job here in Middle East because they need that money to to support the multiplication. So then I come to learn after a while that yes, there was a special child. And I have two before I had that special child and he passed the PhD. So my motivation was this, I had a child, the same. But we never stopped. We tried, okay, but again, was short-lived. But don't, now the technology is different from before. So what you have to do is focus on improving yourself here, getting more opportunities, getting more salary. Because the more you get, the better you can support your family back home. Rather than thinking about the problem is already there. Why not think first on how you can improve here so that you can support back there? So that's a transformational style. So again, it's correlated. Your emotional intelligence is correlated to transformational leadership because you can improve someone's lives by just reading the background. Next, roles and responsibilities of managers. Okay, function of managers, hiring staff, training your employee, coaching, or basic, these are basic roles of managers. In the mid-spread model, roles of managers are also categorized into three: the interpersonal, informational, and decisional. So, informational includes, okay, figurehead, figurehead, figureheaded boss. I am the boss, I'm the ruler, I'm in charge. Okay, that's you. But you can be a leader instead of the figurehead just being a boss, being the in charge. You can be a leader. But but also some are coordinators only. Liaison. I'm a manager, but my role is not a leader. I'm a manager, but my role is not a leader, not figurehead, but I'm just coordinating. Coordinating to other managers, coordinating to my employees, coordinating to the boss. So these are my personal role as a manager. It is also my role as a manager to monitor the team. How are they doing the task? Are they achieving the targets? Are they completing the task? I also my part of my role is to disseminate the information. Is there any update? So what else that you want to know? So to disseminate the information. Also a spokesperson to relay the information coming from the top management, to relay the updates coming from the other functional areas for the others to understand. Also, as a manager, making decisions. So entrepreneur, if you have to create something, entrepreneurial decision, conflict disturbance or conflict resolution, you make decisions. Resource allocator, so how many materials, equipments, and people that you want to assign, you make the decision. And of course, negotiations is part of the role. So these are the three categories of roles of the manager. Manager is a person, you will do what is your personal task. A figurehead, just a boss, or a leader, or just a coordinator. For the informational part here, for the decisional part, actually most of the roles of managers are here. You make decisions. So that is probably that is the reason that managers are paid high, not because of the task they do, because of the decisions they make. Because the decisions they made have an impact on the company's progress or success. Competencies required. Earlier, we talked about competencies of leader. Now, in competencies, leader, manager. Yeah. We talk about competencies of the leader. Now, let's talk about competencies of managers. It's the same. Courage, clear communication, flexibility. The only thing added here as a manager, you will notice for yourself is as manager, you have the technical expertise to manage your customer oriented. Okay, sample. You're a manager for mobile phones. Okay. You can be a leader, yes. Okay. With these competencies, yes, done. You can be a leader. But you cannot manage if you don't know, you don't understand the technical part of it. Okay? And you don't know if you will not understand the need of the customers who are using this product. It's a mobile phone. If you will not understand the customer's needs, you cannot manage it. Because managing the task includes understanding the customer's needs for you to see. Okay, so these are the two required competency for managers. Next is organization. In the organization, actually this one. An organization, yes, as a competencies of leaders required. But for the organization, you have to achieve the target. You know where to get the information and resources. So because you cannot provide your team if you don't know how to get all these resources. And again, planning, scheduling to achieve the task. And for the people, yes, the leadership competencies are there, but you also have to know the written and oral communication because correspondence, writing correspondence, communicating with stakeholders, communicating with the people, memos, circulars, and establishing focus. This was the establishing focus is monitoring. Monitor if the people are on track, monitor if the project is on track, establishing focus. So competencies of the leader and competencies of the manager are the same. However, we have to add the task-related competencies. Now you may wonder, sometimes some of the managers are not really concerned about what you do. Sometimes if we say, my manager doesn't even know what I'm doing. Okay, it's true. And even better with compared to my manager with the things that I do. Which is true. Because of this model. As a junior staff, okay, you are more on the task. You're focused on, let's say, designer. You're more on designing, computer-aided design, okay? And as a task, sometimes, yes, you may be involved in working with your colleagues, yes. Human skills, you will be collaborating with other departments. If you're designing mechanical parts, you will be coordinating with architectural, with other disciplines. You are partly involved in human skills. But conceptual skills about vision, creating vision, creativity, innovation, it's not your stuff. Maybe you have idea, you can contribute, but it's not huge. Because you're focused on the technical part, creating the design itself. But if you become a middle manager or supervisor, your understanding, your involvement when it comes to decision making, to creating new products, or new service, or new ideas increases. But still, the human skills within the interaction, the collaboration with people, with peers, remains the same. And your technical skills is being reduced. You're not anymore having more time on the hands, on the job, only minimal. Probably you will just be coaching or advising, but it will be reduced. But if you are in the executive level, most of your time is on the conceptual skills. You'll be thinking about what will come after a year, what will be the business strategy after 2 years, how can we get ahead with the other competitors, how we can improve the product, how can we reduce rejections. So this will be your role. So more on the thinking skills, creativity skills. Of course, you will be collaborating with your peers, with your boss, with your stakeholders, but less on the technical side. You, as an executive, you not even bother what the other staff are doing because you don't need it. What you need is how to sustain the business. So yes, it's right. But probably your boss, your project manager doesn't know what you're doing. It's correct. Because their role is more focused on most important things, running the business. But you'll be surprised if the boss is not concerned about people. The middle manager is not concerned about people because all of this will collapse. Okay? So it's true that your boss is less knowledgeable when it comes to your skills compared to your skills because they're focused. The higher the ladder, the career path, the lower will be the use of the technical skills. So that is the reason that we have this kind of course, certified manager of quality, because the objective is to put you here to understand the business side. We're in fact in the section 2, we have that business concepts in quality and management. Put you there. You must have the knowledge, skills, tools to understand and apply in the workplace, including this leadership knowledge. So this leadership knowledge is an addition for you to be here. Okay. All right. Change management. According to Charles Darwin, change is
Inevitable.
yes, always happens over time. Change will always be there. Okay. Change management, without noticing it, you're doing it in your workplace. Change the process, change the strategy, change the procedure, okay, or change the technique. But in management, whenever you have to change, there should be a specific tools or theories or techniques to be used. It's not just, okay, now from now on, we will do this. And just a sudden change, and then after that, okay, let's go back to this. People will get confused. At the end of the day, people will not follow you anymore because of the changing of mind. So when you conduct a change, you have to communicate it well. So as part of the lessons here, we will be discussing about why to change, the roadblocks, some model. Actually, there are a lot of models on change management, but we'll be discussing only two, the tools, the effectiveness measurement, and organization culture. Let's start with the reason why to change. One particular example can be pandemic. A lot of changes happen. Okay, pandemic. First is to express why it is needed to change. Now, the world is changing, so we have to adapt new technology. We have to expand market share. So what will happen during the pandemic if we did not adapt to virtual meetings, or online communication? Businesses will be out now. You see, so maybe businesses will be closed. So another reason for the change is to improve performance, better employee experience, better customer experience, to lower the cost. These are reasons on the purpose of changing. So this is for the company. Internal factors, legal issues. So we change our procedure because the government says social distancing. We change our procedures now because the regulatory requirement is, let's say, okay, they change the timing because the regulatory requirements now during summertime is reduced. 10 o'clock in the morning to 3 o'clock, no more. Because of the regulatory requirement during Ramadan, shortened to 6 hours. So we make changes to one of the reasons. Economic reasons, recession, interest rate. Yes, we changed, we reduced the manpower now by 50% because the Qatar has no project at all. So this 50% we will transfer to our FM company for the operations and maintenance. So change, for purpose of change. So global issues, the political changes. So one example, some of the investments will be removed in Europe, in Eastern Europe, because of the conflict in Ukraine. It's a global political change. So many reasons that you can consider in making change. And when you implement changes, there will be challenges. The first challenge are the employees, and the second challenge is your bosses, the investors, the stakeholders, and the managers. So, for example, in a project, okay, in a company, You want to change by reducing the manpower because projects already almost less than 50%, or more than 50% complete. So you have to reduce the manpower. It happens. There's always a core resources core. So first, the challenge will be the employees because they were used to it working with you. So there will be fear that they will be losing their job. Okay. Then they will wonder what comes next when we get terminated. Worries will be there. So then for the operations, probably they will say, again, they will implement this strategy. The previous strategy that they changed was not successful. So definitely this one will not be achieved. It will be the same. So unreasonable expectations. But this pushback happens with most of the organization. Like for example, 10, 20 years employees. If you want to adopt new technology in the workplace, they will say, we've been using Excel in the last 10 years. Why should I do that? Why should I follow that application? Excel, I'm already done with Excel. Or even if I'm sleeping. So, you see, because they don't want to adopt that technology because they already used to the status quo, to the old ways. So this is part of the challenges that will back. But on the part of the management, whenever you propose changes, their concern is the planning side. If you cannot present the case well, probably they will resist on the change. So if you cannot communicate well with that idea, probably they will say no. Okay. But the part of management, lack of passion. So if you are a part of the management, when it comes to change, probably I'm not interested. Maybe it's just only a regulatory requirement. So I'm not passionate about it. Okay, let it go. So in the absence or lack of passion, you cannot push for that change. So for communication, undefined objective. So why? So this should be communicated. I think later on in the next slide. Yeah. Okay. So start with the why, insufficient budget, lack of resources. So this start with why. It is important for you to define why it is really important because you have to communicate it to employees. So like for example, if no, not even company. I think what is that meat manufacturer here? Balatna. There is another one, Almarai. Okay. Okay. Almarai Saudi. It is a true story. Because of the blockade, they're supplying Qatar. I think 30% of their products or 40% is being supplied to Qatar. So during the blockade, they lost that 30%. And they cannot send it to Asia Pacific, to Europe, because they have better products there. So what they did, they reduced their manufacturing. Okay. So people, employees have this fear, the fear was there. But the management have clearly explained, if we will not reduce the manpower, the organization will totally be lost. Because every month we will be losses. So we have to sustain. What we will do now, we will be reducing 20% of power. But the 20% of the power, we will offer you a good package. Let's say, what is retirement, end of service package. Not the usual. We will give you an extra. And they have given. So for those first volunteer, those who want to volunteer, submit your intent. The later, okay, we still have 10% remaining. What we'll do, okay, those who are have options to transfer to other division of Balagna, okay, they will review. And for the 5%, okay, we will get this as per the performance. For those low performers, we will remove. So see, imagine of the 50%, only 5% was really with official termination. The others are options. They come with options. So they have to define and communicate why. What really the purpose of doing that change, reducing 20%. Because if they will not do that, Balada will not be, or Almaray will not be here by today. So 2020. Imagine, 2070,
Like,
lucky,
27.
2017. So, see, but Almaray is still around, right? Almaray,
It's still there.
Still there.
Fine.
Now it's coming
yeah,
after so many years.
yes. Okay. So that is communication. Then, to manage change, we have two models here. Right. Let's start with Kurt Lewin's model. This is basic. Like for example, I cite one example that I have to change. When we took over some 4 projects in 2021, still the pandemic area, from 3 consultants, our company took over those 4 projects. What we did is we assessed. It is pandemic. Transfer of the virus, we have to eliminate. So a lot of papers, documents was there. So we come up changing it to be paperless. Digital. We have agreed. Digital, PDF, returned with PDF. No paper. Until today, we're doing it because we cannot apply the EDMS because it will take time to develop the EDMS time. So we come up with digital first, while the ITs are creating the